Welcome to the Falcons Fanatic Podcast, your dirty birds every weekend. Welcome one and all to a Falcons Fanatic Podcast. I'm your host as always, Lucky Roberts, and I'm talking to you after the Atlanta Falcons beat the Saints at home 24-15. What an amazing game. And I mean, I'm not here to talk to you about how the Saints had more yards than the Falcons today, or how they had more red zone trips, or whatever, what have you. I'm here to talk about the Atlanta Falcons at home. You know, with all these Raptors 50 years of hip-hop excellence in the building, the Atlanta Falcons do their job, and they win a freaking football game. I mean, it's been 3-4 weeks since we've won a football match. It's been a month. You know, we coming off a despicable loss to Arizona, tight losses to Minnesota and Tennessee. Finally, we stamp one at home against the Saints. One you have to have if you're Arthur Smith, if you have ever wanting to have your job back again. But the Falcons take it 24-15 behind some great rushing attack. You know, Desmond Ridder was the same old Ridder coming off bye. You know, I think he's sort of officially stamped, you know, we're getting a new QB. We don't have one that we can even count on for anything in the building at the moment. But it was a bounce-back game for Tyler Algier. Cordero Patterson got a lot of rushes. We had 42 carries in this game. Bijan Robinson, he had some great runs. A couple of ones where he just got tripped up, could have broken big. Was unable to do so. Still had 91 yards of rushing touchdown, just to go with his passing touchdown as well, including 32 yards on top of it. He had a really, really great game. Bijan is continuing to be utilized more and more as this season goes on, as Arthur Smith said he would utilize him. But, you know, I thought this was another, you know, one of the first real good Tyler Algier games we've seen all season. He was averaging about 6 per carry, maybe a bit more than that today on the ground, and he got a lot of the rock. You know, Bijan Robinson was taken out for a couple of plays. I think it was his shoulder. And, you know, earlier in the game they went to Cordero, and then they switched to Tyler. And I've not been complimentary towards Tyler this season. I thought he's been unable to get himself going. He hasn't been able to break into the second level. He's been stopped time and time again, not being able to get around the edge. Today, he went north-south, and he got past the first level, which was huge for him. He gets an extra couple yards, gets ahead of steam, and he's able to bowl a couple people over. And you can see it here. You know, he had 64 yards, and it was more regular Algier we used to see from last season. And another player who we haven't seen much from this season, for no apparent reason, is Cordero Patterson, CP, one of my favorite Falcons to watch, because he just comes with the passion and he comes with the effort every single time. And, you know, he's a player that's never done the Falcons wrong. And that's something I think is really important. Is so many of these players, they'll choke, they'll fumble. I'm looking at their quarterbacks, mainly this season and last season. Cordero Patterson has never done this Falcons team wrong. Last season against the Saints, he caught a beautiful pass to win us the game in Atlanta. This season, you know, this week, does the exact same thing. Just comes with the energy, comes with the passion. He is not afraid of nobody, no man. He will go out for this team, and he will do anything because we were the ones who gave him a chance, and he's rewarding us for that. And I think he needs to be utilized more. 8 carries, 43 yards. Each one of those yards was tough and hard fought. And, you know, it was a good Tyler Algier game, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of him next week when we're playing the Jets. But I would like to see Cordero Patterson continue to get some plays here and have a decent share, at least, you know, come in as much as he did today with those 8 carries. I would like to see that same amount. I think I really enjoy the amount of rushing attempts everybody got. Bijan got his 15, Tyler got 10, Cordero got 8, Desmond Ridder got 7, and maybe Desmond Ridder drops down a couple of his rushes and we make a couple more throws towards, you know, our other playmakers. You know, Kyle Pitts doesn't really get involved in this game. Drake London did more than Kyle Pitts, but still, you know, he had 91 yards, only 5 receptions though, and so I think we'd like to see that pumped up a bit more. Kyle Pitts only with two targets as well. You know, it's not enough, and they're just not on the same page, Ritter and Kyle Pitts. And I think, one of them's going to be gone next season anyway, and it's looking to be Desmond Ritter. But I could see Kyle Pitts gone as well. And, if we're talking about the man, we might as well talk about him. Desmond Ritter, 13 for 21. Fine. 168 yards, fine. Touchdown pass to Bijan, fine. 2 interceptions, back-breaking interceptions. The first one, just towards the end of the half, we're knocking on the door. Basically, we're in the red zone, basically within our own 10. And it was sort of a play, it could be blamed on Bijan sort of giving up on a route. He doesn't run to his fullest extent. But basically, Ritter's the one who has the ball. He's deciding where the ball's going, and he throws it. Bijan's not there. It goes straight to Tyrann Mathieu right in the red zone, and it's just an unnecessary risk. Just an unnecessary risk that was not needed to be thrown. Just hold on to the football. We're about to take a 2-score lead in this game. And instead, he throws the pick, and the Falcons only go up 14-9 going into the second half. They're going to return the ball, and they did. And, once again, they get the ball moving. I think they punt, and the Saints go down, kick another field goal. And then the Falcons are driving once again. We're at the 50-yard line, basically. Desmond Ritter drops back, and you can see his eyes light up a little bit. And you're thinking, usually when his eyes light up, you're happy because that, you see that twice a game. And you think, okay, we're probably going to get Drake London on the sideline on the boundary here. Instead, he looks Van Jefferson's way, who has, after we give up a 7th-round pick, not really done anything for the Falcons team. He's basically just a copy and paste Scotty Miller, which is fine. He throws it to Van Jefferson, who's on the sideline, and instead of floating it over the top of the speedster that Van Jefferson is, or even pushing it to the sideline, instead, he throws it on the leverage side where Tyrann Mathieu is, and he's expecting Van Jefferson, who's not a big guy, to outmuscle Tyrann Mathieu, who is a big guy, outmuscle him into that area and take the ball away. And instead, Tyrann Mathieu sort of just turns his hips, catches the football. Van Jefferson couldn't have done nothing about it. You need to float that to the boundary. Get that out of bounds at least, some sort of. Give your guy a shot, but, don't give Tyrann Mathieu a shot in the option. And you look, and it was fully covered. It was fully a forced throw. I don't really know what he saw, what he expected to see on this play. Once again, I apologize for my computer, as I will continue to do. But it was really disgusting throw. And, it's, once again, those turnovers are what make you want somebody else as the receiver as the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons in the future, because coming off bye still hasn't changed. It's the one thing that hasn't changed for this Falcons team, and these turnovers are going to kill us. Today, it didn't. We found a way to win off of some great plays by Jesse Bates. I don't think we win this game without Jesse Bates. He's been, he's the best safety in the league. Let's be honest. He's so good. But it's still the same actors who are at fault. It's still Arthur Smith, and it's still Desmond Ritter. Doesn't matter who's the quarterback. Doesn't matter if it's Taylor Heineke. It's still the quarterback's fault, and maybe something will change, but I doubt it. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, but if I was a betting man, I'd pick, what we've seen to happen to continue. But, let's talk about the defense. And I'm not trying to be a bummer. The Falcons beat the Saints. I'm going to be happy for a week now. I can feed off this. I can survive off this for a week, off this happiness. We beat the Saints. We're top of the South. 3-0 in the South. At least we're, the king of the dog pile. Maybe poor choice of words. The king of the the king of the South. And we'll take that. I just want to make the playoffs, have a home playoff game. I think would be fine. And, who knows what happens with Arthur Smith. I don't know if I can continue to support him as the Falcons coach, but I'll support the Falcons. And, if we continue to play like we did today and win and put a full effort out there, maybe I can think back. But at this current moment, I'm not going to go back off, just one win. Same thing with Desmond Ridder, and he didn't play well today, so I'm not even giving him an opportunity. But this defense continues to be a top 10 unit in the league. Just, led by Jesse Bates. He had 2 turnovers forced in this game. The 1 pick six, which, we're probably the lowest we've ever been. We're about to go down 10-0 to the Saints in Atlanta after a month of losing. Jesse Bates says, no, sir, reads the play as soon as the ball is hot, as soon as the ball's in the air. He's bolting to this football. He knows exactly where it's going to be thrown by Derek Carr. Derek Carr blindly throws it, doesn't notice that Jesse Bates is coming in like a bullet. He steals the ball and steals their points, turns it into ours. All of a sudden, it's a 14-point swing. The Atlanta Falcons are now up 7-3. And that, the pick six, the 90-plus yard pick six is probably the most exciting play in all of football. And I'm not the first person to say this, obviously. But man, does it just... I was jumping up and down. I was pumping my fist, high-fiving any single person I could see. And it was exactly what you want to see. 92-yard pick six for Jesse Bates, the third. He also had 12 tackles in this game and a forced fumble, which was just at the end of the third quarter, last play before the fourth is about to start. And, right before Ludacris is about to come down from the rafters, the Saints were knocking on the door. It was 12-14, Falcons were up, but the Saints had field position, and the crowd was restless. All of a sudden, it's gonna be run here by none other than Taysom Hill, and Taysom Hill's in the game, so you assume, okay, they're running the football here, but he's thrown it before. They had it, he's running it. They get past the first down. He's moving with steam, and sometimes you can just tell somebody doesn't have a grip on this football. So, you could just tell this ball is going to be open on the floor if somebody punches it. And lo and behold, the first man comes in, stops him in his tracks, stops Taysom Hill. He's still got a little bit of forward momentum, but as soon as that forward momentum goes, the ball gets a little loose as he's falling towards the ground. Jesse Bates comes in, punch, not even looking at anything else but the football, punches it out. It's scrambled. The Falcons recover, and the place is bumping. Ludacris comes down, says move. Can't say that word. Not on live air. I mean, maybe I will in the privacy of my own home, but get out the way. And the rest of that fourth quarter, that's what the Falcons did. They moved them. They moved those Saints out the goddamn way, and they won the football game, outscoring the Saints 10-3 in the fourth. Stamping that win. They're now 5-6, 4-2 at home. They're a good home team, the Falcons. They've only won one away game today. I mean, this season. I don't know why I said today, but they've only won one game away from home. But it doesn't matter for playoffs, because if we win this NFC South, this putrid NFC South, doesn't matter. We're getting a home playoff game. We're gonna have it bumping. Maybe Ludacris will come back down from the sky. Maybe T.I. will be there. Maybe Jid. All these hip-hop legends. And who knows? Atlanta natives, Atlanta Falcons football fans. As we look to other, stars on this defense, Jeff Okudah had a couple of nice tackles. DeMarco Hellams, who was a 6th-round rookie, 7th round, actually, even further back. But DeMarco Hellams getting a taste of action. He had a nice preseason, a couple of interceptions there, and you see him sort of break into the safety role, coming in, maybe playing anywhere across the DBs. He's had 7 tackles, right behind Jeff Okudah, who, I was saying earlier, had some really great one-on-one tackles, beating blocks, getting off blocks, and I've been happy what I've seen from these free agents that the Falcons brought in, who Terry Fontenot brought in. Jeff Okudah, Caden Ellis as well, 2 tackles for loss in this game. You look for more. You've got Bud Dupree, who's so sneaky, one of the best pass rushers on this team. He had a tackle for loss in this game, and you continue to see great performances from these guys who were given minimal contracts given second chances, And Jeff Okudah was a top 3 pick. And, he's not playing like A.J. Terrell, who had some great plays. You did see the Saints' Chris Olave with 114 yards really stamped his name on this game earlier on. And I don't think the Falcons win, or at least by that much of a margin, if Chris Olave stays in this game. And I hope he does get better because, I'll never root for anybody's injury. But the Falcons did end up taking this one apart because the Saints' attack, their offense, completely shut down without Chris Olave, and so did Derek Carr. And partly it is due to Jeff Okudah, Jesse Bates, and A.J. Terrell. But A.J. Terrell was getting beat a little bit. He also had some very impressive plays on Chris Olave, and it's hard. He's a fast guy. He's a good receiver. He's one of the best, at least in the NFC South, that you're going to have to guard him. So it's understandable. Jeff Okudah did really well on his side of the field. A.J. Terrell, they're both, it's a nice 1-2 punch, and it's, you like to see finally some brilliance there on the back end, finally some brilliance by a defense. It's a bend, not break type of defense, and this defense refused to break today, not letting up a single touchdown, which is what, brought the Falcons to the win. They had more touches, they had more plays inside of our own half, but we were able to capitalize on what we did have, and we had the pick six, which was huge. That was, like I said, a 14-point swing, and we did gain less yards than the Saints, and we beat them nonetheless. David Onyemata, another one of those players coming in, this season, who's been really, really good. He had a play on, this was on Derek Carr as he was running. I've never seen somebody hold the football looser. He punches it out, but it goes 13 more yards to Jawan Johnson, I think, and he picks it up, and they gain an extra 10 yards. He was patting himself. He was like, "My bad, guys," to the Saints sidelines. But Caden Ellis, he's being great, and rushing the quarterback, David Onyemata, is being great, and he's coming back after a little bit of a break, a little bit of an injury, and he's coming in without his main man beside him, Grady Jarrett, and he continues to be effective. And, one of the first times I've seen this Falcons team get to the rusher was today. It was Arnold Ebiketie. For his first time, he beat an offensive tackle. Just straight off. I've never said, it was like, is that even possible? Is that a possibility that a defensive end can beat a tackle just on the first touch? It was incredible. It was on the third down. It was so important. I haven't seen it since Vic Beasley. And even he did it sparingly, but it was great to see, especially from a young player like Arnold Ebiketie. You'd like to see him replicate it. I don't know. We'll have to see. He's sort of been a disappointment. Nobody can get to the pass rusher, so it was just impressive to see that. Hopefully he can build off that. He gets a sack in this football game. And yeah, just A.J. Terrell didn't actually have a tackle in this game. I just wanted to say it wasn't even important. I will say, Young Wei-Koo kicks it in, had a bit of a back issue earlier in this week. I apologize for getting this out so late to you guys. I was actually in Montreal in Canada, just visiting some friends, family, all that type of stuff. So I got on a bus back to where I live in Toronto and got back about 12. I'm recording this currently at 2 in the morning, so I apologize if this isn't my best coverage ever, but I just want to say, love the Falcons, love the win. I'm going to be happy for days with this. Great performance from the team. I don't care. None of it matters. Enjoy your lives. Make fun what you can. I will be happy. Falcons win over the Saints. Whatever happens, we can rely on that. Nobody can take that away from us. And so, I would like to talk about it more, but it is 2 in the morning. I got to get this up before I go to sleep. So that's going to do it for this little portion. I'm going to quickly go over the other scores around the league, and then I'll have you guys on your way with this amazing win. So I'll be back in a second. See you in a sec. All right, as my computer continues to take off, I'm just going to quickly, scattergun really quick games around the league. The Packers beat the Lions, obviously, earlier on Thursday. We had a lot of, games. I'm just mainly going to go over the Sunday ones in more in depth, but I'll quickly go over the Thursdays and Friday game as well. The Cowboys beat the Commanders. 49ers beating the Seahawks to both go to 8-3. On Friday it was the Dolphins and Jets. Dolphins run over the Jets, who the Falcons will play next week. And the Falcons should be winning that game, but you know how many times have we said that so far this season? It's going to have to see. The Falcons are going to be in New York, so anything can happen. This Falcons team is putrid away. Anyway, the Steelers beat the Bengals 16-10. Bengals continue to be disappointing. They have the same exact record as the Falcons. And, you know, if you said this earlier on in the season, you would have thought, oh, what? The Falcons are 7-4? The Falcons are 6-5? Nope, they're 5-6. The Bengals are not a good football team. They only put 10 points up in this game. Steelers continue to win ugly, but they continue to win. And, you know, Najee Harris with the touchdown to put the Steelers ahead, and that's what they did, and they won that football game. Panthers lose to the Titans. Same thing that the Falcons did. You know, a little bit more excusable as they're 1-10. Panthers lose to the Titans. Derrick Henry did my fantasy team well. And Panthers continue to push for that first overall pick, as that will go to, you know, I don't think they realize this, that it's going to Chicago, but nobody tell them. The Colts do the Falcons a favor and beat the Buccaneers 27-20. The Falcons now a game above the Buccaneers in the standings as they were coming into this week, knotted up. But the Falcons are now top of the NFC South, a game ahead of the Bucs, tied with the Saints. But obviously, you know, we're winning the season series and are 3-0 in the division. Beat every single team so far. And so that's going to put us ahead. And, you know, the Colts doing us a favor, taking out the Bucs. They're 6-5, Bucs 4-7. You know, huge development. Everything went well for the Falcons this week. The Giants beat the Patriots in the mid-off. I don't even know if you could call it that. That would be insulting to mid, because it was 10-7. It was disgusting plays. Both teams, you know, I don't know if they wanted to win this one. Bill Belichick, you know, he's going to say he wanted to win. I don't think so. The Giants, I mean, you're always happy when you win, but this is probably the least redeeming win you could ever have. It's 10-7 against a 2-9 Patriots team, but I guess when you beat the Patriots, you'll take it. And, you know, it was on a missed field goal is what the Patriots lost on. So you can really think, you know, maybe they'll just talk to him, said, hey, just shank this one. We'll sign you next season. Jaguars beat the Texans 8-3 to even go further into the driver's seat in that AFC South division. Their 24-21 win was, you know, very essential for that. Jaguars dink a 58. The Texans dink a 58-yard field goal to tie it off the crossbar, and that's what lost them the game. A lot of interesting field goal dynamics across the NFL. You know, the Saints taking, 6 field goals, making 5. Anyway, the Broncos beat the Browns, continue to surge. I mean, this team was dead and buried, the Broncos was, and all of a sudden, 29-12 against the Browns, against a really good Browns defense, against, the Broncos offense, which looked dead in the water. They continue to surprise, and Sean Payton continues, now I can compliment him now that he's not a Saints coach, continues to impress, and it looked like his season was shot. The Rams beat the Cardinals 37-14. The Rams team that is 5-6, same as the Falcons. That's what the Falcons should have done against the Cards. But no, that's what happens. 37-14, Rams win. 3 more games here for you. The Chiefs beat the Raiders. No surprise here. Probably a score you would expect to see. 31-17. Chiefs win that. Mahomes continues to dominate. Eagles beating the Bills in overtime. They're 10-1. Eagles look dominant. Bills look not. They're 6-6. Eagles throw into Zacchaeus in the end zone for a pivotal touchdown as they keep on winning, even though there's some close games here. And the final one of the day, Ravens Chargers. Chargers are now 4-7 because the Ravens beat them 20-10. Ravens 9-3. And, one thing I will say before we go, just imagine how good this Falcons team would be if we had Lamar Jackson, if we just made that trade. Lamar Jackson, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's a rushing quarterback, could have rushed the ball all day. Arthur Smith would be happy to do so. This Falcons team would be so dang good if we just had some stable QB play. So I think that's going to be a what if that I'm going to be talking about for a while, unless we strike gold in this upcoming draft or something of that matter. It's just, he was right there for us, and we let him fall through our fingertips. But that's all the depressing talk that's going to be, because the Falcons beat the Saints. It's 2:15 a.m. in the morning, and I will see you guys next week as the Falcons take on the Jets in New York, and hopefully we're still at the top of this division by the end of it. So thanks for listening. I'm your host, as always, Lucky Roberts. Follow me on Twitter, whatever you want to do. I got to go to bed. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys later.